Hello, it's Wednesday and welcome to Woodin Wednesday DIY session. We are in the Woodin shop at Osu Oxford Street. I am Adu-Amaning and today we are about to create a nice gift package. Just in case you have to give a gift to a friend or you are in a hurry to go somewhere and you have a piece of Woodin fabric, you can just create a package out of it. And this is what it looks like at the end of the day. You can create any shape you actually want. And today we are coming to do that with just a piece of Woodin fabric. With this package, you will need glue and you need a ruler, scissors. Well, I have pinking shears, which is really going to help me a lot. You are going to need a chipboard, and that's where I created the patterns from. You can also choose to use ribbons as well. First, you are going to measure 5 by 5 centimeters on your card, which is bigger than this. And then at the end of the day, you are going to cut it out and get this shape. At the end of the day, you can just create anything. Just know that you will need a pattern to do this. Let me just remind you that I'm using Fascination Diy Wedneday. I decided to use Fascination Diy Wedneday, which has the golden metallic. It sparkles and I really love this fabric a lot. So I'm just going to spread the glue here on the card. You can create any shape you want as well, and you can use any fabric you want depending on the occasion or what you want to do. Don't forget that you can also make this package for, let's say you make jewels or beads or anything, and then you need a packaging. You want to create something out of this. It is very easy to make these things with just a card, glue, and a piece of Woodin fabric. You can achieve that. Be reminded that when you don't spread the glue well, it's not going to stick the way you want it. So I'm spreading the glue at every place. The edges are very, very important when spreading glue on the card. It's very important that you get the edges right. So at the end of the day, I have glue all over the card. This is the back of the card and this is the inside of the card. I chose this shape because that's what I want. You can choose any shape you want. What I'm going to do is now spread my fabric, and you always have to make sure that there's nothing under the fabric. So I'm sticking this on it. Okay, so now I can cut out my fabric. Because I'm not really sure of the cutting, I don't want to just cut it close to the card. So then I'm leaving allowance at the edge. I've cut out, so I've achieved what I wanted. I wanted a darker shade of this, and I have the lighter shade as well. The allowance I left, which is this side, I'm going to glue that side and now fold it in. So we can have our lining now. And with the lining, we are going to be using our pattern to create that. So I'm going to fold it gently. So I've done this side. And when there's excess fabric, you just cut it out. Okay. So at the end of the day, I have this. Now what do we do inside? We are still using the same Fascination Diy Wedneday. So in this case, I have my side here. That's why it's important to have your pattern. I'm going to use this to cut the lining. You can use plain Woodin for the lining, but let's assume that's the only fabric I have at home. I'm going to use the lighter side of it. So then I have my square first, or I can choose, but it's good to cut all together. So I'm going to cut this one first. Just place it flat on the fabric. If you are not good at cutting, you can pin it so that it guides you. Then you use a chalk. If you want, you can use pencil. You hold it to the fabric. That's why it's advisable to use pins. And then you draw the same thing on the fabric. I'm going to leave some room when I'm cutting. Always make sure you leave a little bit of fabric outside the main area so that you can be able to achieve this. And then we go again. This is lining. I'm providing a lining for my package. So I've not stitched it yet, but this is what it's going to look like. I need to cover this side. This whole thing, I need to cover it to look good. But if you're not really sure of what you are cutting, you can pin it and cut it. And I'm going to leave room. I'm not cutting on the chalk or the pen or your pencil or the mark. I've left allowance at the edge. I can trim it later on if I feel it's too big for what I'm going to use it for. So now we are back to the main work. So I'm going to glue the inside of the card where I don't have fabric, where I want the other side, my lining, to start from. You have to spread the glue gently and always cover your glue. Make sure that the glue doesn't touch the surface of the fabric. So then I have this, the first side. I start from the top. And then I make sure the sides, it fits gently. And you press it. So this is the other side of the card. Make sure you know which is which so that you don't stick the wrong fabric at the wrong place. And you can also use suede and Woodin fabric. You can blend it if you want. But if you're going to use it at the back, then you need to go through this method I'm using for the inside. So now it's time to put this fabric. So I'm sticking this in the middle. And now the next stage, we are about to bend our gifts box or gift package. So I'm going to use my ruler. So then I put the ruler at where I'm supposed to bend. And I bend it in. Bend it firm and press it because it's supposed to be like that. I go to the other side. And then I do the same thing. Don't forget, I'm just bending. Now I can choose to, because I need to, at the end of the day, I need a room. I'm going to leave one of the excess ones as a room. So then, this is my door, more like my door. So I can choose to glue these three together, or I can choose to put a ribbon around here. So I'm going to punch a hole here and put my ribbon through it. So I'm going to use the punch and then I'll use my compass to create the hole. But because it's a fabric and it's not like leather, usually it has to punch through it. This makes it so easy for me to get the hole I want so that I don't just create any hole. Don't forget that I'm using my compass because maybe that's what I have at the moment and I needed to create a hole. So I'm not going to pull it here. And then I want it to be very nice. So I have this golden button, normally used for buttons. I'm going to put it here. Whilst I put the other sides of the fabric, of the ribbon through the fabric. So as usual again, this compass is really helpful because I don't want it to come out. So I'm going around with it. And always make sure of the side because this is actually supporting this side. closing at this side. So I need to put this in another hole. So I've been able to do the second one, and always watch this side, because at the end of the day it has to be like this. So this is the last one I'm going to do, and this is like the door or where you put the gift inside. So I just use the compass, then I bring it out. Okay, so whilst I'm doing it, I'm also checking the side of my work so that the side doesn't come out. So at the end of the day, this is what I achieve with my Fascination de Woodin. Thank you for coming, and thank you for watching today's session. Follow us on our YouTube channel, The Nation is Coming. Woodin, be bold, be creative. Bye.